Hello there, my name is McLovin. Dick McLovin. So I heard the new Nemo movie is coming out, and speaking of Nemo, I'm actually here today to talk about coral reefs. So I have not been working alone. I have my co-worker here, Geronimo Chode Stilton, and he is a good companion of mine. And yeah, just let him introduce himself. Good to see you.
Good to see you, sir. Hello, my name is Geronimo Chode Stilton. Me and my boss, Dick McLovin, we've been undergoing some very intense coral reef investigations. Alright, so to start today's discussion on coral reefs, we'll be discussing on what conditions coral reefs form in. So the first factor we'll talk about is the temperature. The first of these is the seawater temperature of 16 to 35 degrees Celsius, with optimum temperatures of 23 to 25 degrees Celsius. And another factor would be the clean water that it is in. Another condition that must be met for the development of reef-building corals is the absence of major rivers that bring silt and fresh water down to the sea. Excessive silt reduces light, thereby inhibiting photosynthesis by the symbiotic algae, which are found in coral tissues. Still may also block the mouths of corals and preventing feeding.
Yes, and so I can continue from here. Thank you. Another factor, important one is light. So what happens is reef-building corals need light to support the symbiotic algae that they contain. So they cannot develop in deep water below the zone in which sufficient light is available to support photosynthesis. And the final factor that we are going to discuss on what conditions coral reefs form is depth. Thus, they are usually restricted to water depths of less than 70 meters. It is for this reason that coral reefs are only found adjacent to land masses or on the summits. So, topic number 2 for today is what are the different types of coral reefs and how do they form? The most common type of coral reef is the fringing reef. Now, this type of reef grows seaward directly from the shore. They form borders around the shoreline and surrounding islands.
Now, following up on Dick's comment, I'll be discussing barrier reefs. They are similar to fringing reefs, as they also form borders along shorelines, but instead of growing directly out from shore, they are separated by a mass of ocean. This creates a lagoon.
To finish off the topic for the different types of coral reefs, when a fringing reef continues to grow upwards from a submerged volcanic island, it forms an atoll. Atolls tend to be oval or circular with a lagoon in the middle. Okay, so I'll be doing this topic alone. So this topic is how important are coral reefs as ecosystems. Coral reefs support more species per unit than any other marine environment, including 4,000 species of fish, 800 species of hard coral, and hundreds of other species. In fact, scientists predict that there may possibly be another 1 to 8 million more species of organisms within the reefs. The wide array of biodiversity is unbelievable, and we just cannot wait to see if there's any other things waiting for us.
Okay, so today, individually, I'll be talking about how do coral reefs benefit people. Researchers are looking into it, but they say the coral reefs may be able to provide alternate chemicals as a source of a new medicine. Through the years, bacteria has become immune to antibiotics. The medicine that is made from coral reefs can be used as a replacement. Basically, they contain chemicals that can cure diseases.
So for topic number 6, we've decided to step outside and get a breath of fresh air. So I'll begin by discussing in what ways are coral reefs threatened. One major problem is the overexploitation of resources for sustenance and commercial fishing, and that's destroying the habitats. And it's degrading the areas, and it's just bad for the ecosystem itself. Another problem is increasing coastal populations, which are expected to double within the next 50 years. So many species of coral will be erased. Another problem is the poor land use that we as humans practice, such as runoff of pollutants, sediments, and nutrients. Disease outbreaks are bad for the corals themselves, and it's associated, of course, with poor water quality and a lack of nutrients, which is basically we are to blame for that. We are the ones dumping these toxic substances into the water. And two other problems would be coral bleaching, which is increasing seawater temperatures and through global warming, and the removal of mangrove forests. All of these problems are destroying our coral reefs, and we need to increase our efforts to stop the destruction of these amazing and wonderful ecosystems that have many things for us.
So, as my friend Dick mentioned, he talked about the ways coral reefs can be destroyed and threatened. And I'll be talking about the ways coral reefs can be protected. Supporting businesses that are reef friendly. There's no harm in asking for boating, fishing, aquarium, and snorkeling services if and how they play a part in protecting the reefs. Make sure that they care for the living ecosystems they are gaining economic worth from. And if in doubt, do not use their service. Look for alternative organizations that are responsible for managing the reef ecosystem. Cleanly disposing of litter. Don't leave behind any unwanted equipment, like, come on. Such as nets and fishing lines along beach coast. Any kind of litter is pollution and holds the chance of harming the reefs and its species. Contacting government representatives. A quick letter of demand to take action in a project that works to protect reefs will only take 15 minutes and is a quick and cheap way of spreading the word on helping out corals. Alternatively, letters could ask to stop sewage pollution of our oceans and expanding marine protection.
Final segment of our documentary, we're going to bring in an expert on the coral reefs in Australia known as the Great Barrier Reef. Andrew Kim from the University of Iowa will be discussing how the Great Barriers were formed.
My name is Andrew Kim, and I'm a researcher for the University of Iowa in coral reefs, and mainly the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. So, how was the Great Barrier formed? It is believed that around 1.2 million years ago there was a drastic change in climate conditions, and so when the polar ice cap started to melt, the sea levels rose. The sea levels rose and fell at least 24 times according to records. So due to this, Australia's continental shelf was flooded, and corals growing on the edge of these shelves kept pace with the rising sea levels to form the Great Barrier Reef. So what types of reefs are in the Great Barrier Reef? There are 4: the barrier reef, fringing reefs, platform and patch reefs, and ribbon reefs. Barrier reefs form along the outermost edges of the continental shelf, and they are separated from land by a wide, deep lagoon. Fringing reefs resemble barrier reefs in that they are parallel coastlines, but they hug the shore more. They border island or extend outward from the mainland and are separated from land only by a narrow, shallow lagoon. Platform and patch reefs are both small, isolated reefs that grow on top of the continental shelf, often underwater hills. Ribbon reefs are long, narrow reefs that develop along the edge of continental shelves. So, how are coral reefs important to the ecosystem? The following facts that I'll share to you about coral reefs should be good. Coral reefs are among the oldest ecosystems on Earth. Coral reefs support a phenomenal diversity of species and provide irreplaceable sources of food and shelter. Human activities such as trampling, destructive fishing techniques, and anchoring can physically destroy or kill the coral, resulting in reef death. Coral reefs have been used in the treatment of cancer, HIV, cardiovascular diseases, ulcers, and other ailments. And researchers estimate that 20% of the world's coral reefs have been effectively destroyed in the last few decades. So, following that point, in what ways are coral reefs threatened? Well, all around the world, much of the world's marine biodiversity face threats from activities and events such as coastal development, overfishing, and inland pollution.
Coral reefs that benefit people. Researchers are looking into it, but we can directly from the shore.
They form borders around the shoreline and surrounding islands.
Yes, following up with McLovin's, they are similar to fringing reefs as they also form borders along shorelines. But instead of growing directly out from shore, they are separated by a massive ocean. This creates a long
Hello, my name is Andrew Kim, and I'll be talking about the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. My name is Andrew Kim from the University of Iowa, and today I'll be hi, my name is Andrew Kim, and